Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back on the Bossman Show, friends of the show, Drew Jordan, Duquesne, Dukes out of the A10, doing big things. Drew, good to talk to you, brother. How things up there in Pittsburgh, man?
Boss, man, it's great to talk to you as well, man. Things are going well up here in Pittsburgh, man. I have no complaints, man. Enjoying my day to day.
Yes, indeed. Well, brother, let me ask you, man, in this whole world of college basketball with the Portland NIL, man, how has it been for you guys trying to get the right young men and really know why they want to come build the Duquesne Duke and do it for the right reasons and not just for their next step, wherever they want to go professionally?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It is not easy finding the right young men for your program, and I think it's just where your standards lie, where do your values lie, man, and we try to judge the character of a young man, not just the talent, right? There's a lot to be said about a young man's character. Talent, I think, can start to depreciate, or if anything is even, right? Then it's not about talent anymore. It's about what's inside that person, what's his will, what's his dedication, what's his discipline. So we try our best to identify the character of a young man to kind of see us through this challenging era of basketball where, there is a lot of movement and you're trying to put together your roster the right way. You can't be enamored with a jump shot or size all the time of an athlete. You have to really you have to go a little bit further and do your research. Ask the tough question, find out your whys.
No doubt, man, and especially as you know, when guys having agendas, man, and really getting them to buy into a role. And talk about that, is that role definition, getting young men to buy into their role, accept their role, and then start in their role. Because I feel like sometimes for young men who used to be in demand in high school or my JUCO or my last school, they actually buy into a whole new meaning of team and being a piece of the pie.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard Jay Billis say this years ago, and I don't know what show he was on, but he talked about roles, and I thought it was so great what he said. He said roles are just what the coach is asking you to do. It doesn't necessarily define who you are as a player. So I try to relay that same messaging to my players, man, that when you're a part of a team, there's going to be things that are asked of you, a task that you have to complete. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is who you are as a player. It's just what I need you to do. And if we think of this thing in a team aspect that if we get guys to fulfill their task and do what's needed from the aspect of team, then now we're working together. Now we have that connection, that chemistry that we really want to embody, but we don't know how to get there. And it takes a lot of, I got to step away from myself, right? There's going to be some sacrifice that goes into it. But that is what you have to be willing to do, right? Some guys come in with that understanding and know absolutely what that means, and other guys don't. And that's where you got to be a good teacher and try to um, help them learn what that really is and show them, right? It's not just your words, right? It has to be your actions. They have to see it demonstrated in order for them to catch hold to it. So, as a staff, and for myself, we try to walk in what we say, to hold true to our standards and our values each and every day, because it is a tough thing to be someone who is a star, knows they can score, but hey man, this is what we're asking you to do. Can you do it? Can you star in this role? And I'll say this: usually, if you star in your role, trust trust happens, right? And it evolves, right? Because now you're showing me, hey man, I gave you something little and you can handle it, right? So now I'm gonna task you with something more. I think sometimes our players want more, but they haven't shown they can handle something small. And that just doesn't work like that. You right? You wouldn't do that in any other fashion of your life.
No doubt, Drew. And like I said before on the show before many times, I was a better football player than basketball player. But on the basketball court, I knew if I gave extreme effort, had game plan discipline, was always in my spots, doing the right things, I'd be on the floor. And could possibly close the game because you knew I'm gonna be in my spot. I'm gonna fight over screens. I'm gonna open shots in the corner. I'm gonna space the floor out. So I just knew that while I was more of a star in football, but in basketball, if I just did what I knew I could control, I would play. I
Yeah.
don't think young men understand that.
No, that's called being alert, being aware, and also just a reflection on yourself, right? To understand, like, hey man, this is what I can see that the team needs me to do. This may be what I've been asked to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And then the reward of that is, right, man, everybody wants to be in that game. You want to be in that game. Right? There's not a player on my team that wants to be sitting on the bench. I understand and know that. Right? They want to be in the mix. They want to be in the game. Well, right, you took a small role, which may be deemed as small, but you starred in it, right? And ultimately you gained the trust because you in the right spot, you fight through screens, and then you make your open shots. So now the coach has that motivating factor of I can depend on that man. And if I can depend on you, I can play you.
No doubt, Drew. And I'll talk about this with a parent who was talking to me about her son. He's more of a screener. He's more of a short roller. I'm like, do you realize how more crucial part your son plays to getting open shots for his teammates for these guards? Because if you don't have the right screening angle, he doesn't space the floor the right way. It can clog up the floor. It opens up other things on the backside. I went too deep with her, Drew, to be honest with you, but I'll try to explain to her what your son is doing, screening and rolling, short rolling, getting those lobs and spacing the floor is helping his team win because they're doing pretty well in a conference right now. But she was complaining about her son's role. I'm like, guess what? Those great shots they make, his screens are part of that great shot, and the coaches know that his screening is helping them win games. Just know he's playing an important part to what their team is doing. I know you don't see it because he's not getting dunks and layups and making baskets, but he's having an impact on winning. That's what you should be proud of
Absolutely.
your son doing it, and he knows he's doing what his coaches want him to do.
Importance, right? Absolutely. And, sometimes, and you bring up parents, man, sometimes if you ask the kids, they don't necessarily have a problem with it. The parents do.
Yes.
And, I'm a dad, right? I'm a dad of three. My two girls, they don't really hoop, but my son does. And like, you got to step back and see, hey, son, are you all right with everything that's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because if you are okay, then what am I so upset for? If you feel good about, how you're playing and your role on the team, then what do I have to complain about? I'm in this for you. your enjoyment of it. So, um, sometimes we get too caught up. We want the best for our kids. I understand it.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And you know what, Drew? It's good and funny, man. Like watching your team, man, from afar, it look like they're very connected, and you've won some close games in clutch time. And talk about that, being able from going from the summer to now, able to build that house with each other, build that trust, which we talked about that trust, and able to come through these clutch games in conferences, tough opponents every night, and getting the job done, and seeing your guys really apply what you've been putting this work in since the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would like to think it's because we ran extra laps and we did this. No, that ain't have nothing to do with it. Before we touched the basketball, when we came together, my mentor is Dr. Joe Carr. He's a sports psychologist. We met with him first. We sat down, right, for 2 or 3 days, and the objective was to build our connection. There's 18 young men on my team. Some knew each other. They're from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, different experiences, different joys and traumas. So how do we get this group of strangers to connect, right? How do we do it as soon as we can and start to build it? So that was our first initiative, right? And we did it through not a boring way. We did a lot of activities and a lot of games and challenges to make them have to communicate with each other. And then they look up by the end of it, it's like, man, they've started to share their personal stories. Their relationships are now starting to bind, and it becomes this connection that you want to see amongst your team. And that's how you carry it um, through into the season, because the season's going to bring a bunch of adversity and challenges. And what can you lean in on? Man, we locked in. We've been locked in from the beginning. I trust my guy to the left and the right. They hold me accountable. I hold them accountable. Um, and we understand that we got to do this thing together. So you talk about those close games that we've been in, right? If you were to be a fly on the wall, you're going to hear me in pregame speak on connection. And man, we're on the road today. We have to be the most connected team. We don't got to be the most talented team, right? Talent, that's going to be a jump ball when it all goes up in the air. We have to be the most connected team. Our connection has to be so strong that it starts to infuriate the opponent. They start to worry about it, and it's a constant reminder. You got guys that want to, things get in the way. Your own personal things can get in the way. So you have to reset guys at times. It's not a perfect thing, but we're building on it. And I like where we're going right now as a team. We strung some wins together. We're back in the hunt to finish the top of this conference. So, like I said, I just like how we're progressing.
No doubt, Drew, and getting a big win over Joyce and Mason. They at the top of the conference. They've been getting national accolades, and to get the win against those guys, GW, Rhode Island, man. But just seeing your team recover, they could have folded. They were 3-5. They could have let it get to them, but they went to practice every day. Let's talk about that mindset of your guys, not letting losses to define how they work every day, trusting that process to get better, understanding that we put in the right work, and we keep doing the right things, it'll turn in our favor.
You said it right. It's process. It's process over results, right? Um, Even within the game, and I remind my guys, don't watch the scoreboard, right? That scoreboard will fool you. You look up there, you could be up 20, you could be down 20 really, really quick. But it's really about the process of the possessions, right? And no different. It's about the process of every day, not the results, right? But what do we pour in to each and every opportunity that we get when we come together, when we come to this court? Or did we improve today? Did we stick to our standards? Did we raise the level in the room? Were we disciplined enough to make sure that we got better today? Um, and that's important because, like I spoke before, man, there's going to be some challenges that hit you hard in the middle of the season. And at whatever point in the season, how do you pick yourself up from it? And shout out to my guys and for their resilience. I got a competitive group. Um, and sometimes in that losing, man, you got to find some positive things too, because just because you lost a game don't mean you did everything wrong. You could have did a lot right, and just, hey man, a couple plays didn't go our way. So just staying even, right? Not too high, not too low, and just trying to find the appreciation for what you're doing right and learn from where you need to learn from, and keep it moving because this thing is a journey, man. It ain't a one shot deal.
No doubt, man. You're sharing the ball very well. Seems this is the game for your guys, Drew. So talk about that, man. Getting those guys with the mindset of sharing the basketball, making the right reads, and getting your teammate a great shot rather than that good shot, because it's so important to really. If we lose the game, we miss an open shot. That's one thing. If we say kind of slick, contested shots, that's a whole other time conversation. But at least you guys are getting those great shots and making the extra pass. Man, it's kind of important. It's getting guys to buy into that mindset of making an extra pass for even better shot for a teammate.
Yeah, I think part of it goes to our recruitment, right? Just kind of, fielding and monitoring like our guys offensively for as much as they possibly can. Are they trying to make the right play, or are they trying to get a play for themselves, right? And we were very, very strategic in that regard. And then it's a message that we preach, man. Hey, man, we can get a good shot, but if we got a great shot, you turn down the good one and get a great one. And credit to my players too, like Terrence Ginyard is our lead guard, Jimmy Williams. They're also some of our best passers, right? They're our top scorers, but they're some of our better passers on the team. When you get some of your best guys, right, who kind of dominate the ball at times to make sure that they're sharing it and giving up maybe a good shot for them for a great shot for a teammate, right? It becomes infectious amongst the team. So we have to continue to keep playing unselfish because it makes us really good.
No doubt. And Drew, as the games get more and more important, to discuss that possession game with the rebounding, defensive, offensively, and creating turnovers and limiting yours, because we both know these games become tighter and tighter, the margins become smaller and smaller. That possession game is going to be mean even more. So talk about getting your team ready for that and really keying in on knowing that, hey, we have to win rebounding turnovers every night to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Yeah, we just talked about it today, right? We got a big road game coming up. And on the road, I just wanted to remind, hey, take care of the basketball. That's a big key. And then finish possessions, right? Finish possessions by rebounding the ball. Because I think, as you mentioned, hey, the game is going to start getting tighter. Teams are going to dig in and they're going to compete hard. There's going to be a lot of fight over these next few weeks. It's almost our survival instinct just kicks in, right? And possessions matter. And if we can get more possessions in the team, right, that's going to serve a huge purpose. And, ways to do that is, hey, number one, take care of the ball offensively. How well can we strategically continue to offense or rebound? And then the same challenge on the defense. Can we take the ball from you, right? Can we take the ball from you? And then can we not allow you to get an extra possession? Those things are going to weigh heavy. I think we're a good rebounding team, and we've been applying pressure. We forced about 16, 17 turnovers last game. So our defense is coming along. It was shaky early, but our defense is continuing to improve.
And last one I got for you, kind of mentioned you got St. Bonaventure this weekend on the road. So tell us what you're seeing for those guys on the film as you prepare to go up there to the Bonnies and try to get you another dub up there, man.
Yeah. As we watch Bonnie's, man, they're as good as anyone in the league, right? And I was telling one of the players, I said, man, this league is so tough because amongst almost every team, there's two all-conference players. That means if you mess around, you will get beat that night because they got guys capable of just going in there, having a great night and beating you. So they got a really, really sound 1-2 punch in Buddy Simmons and Frank Mitchell that we're going to have to control. Buddy Simmons just a couple weeks ago dropped a season high on us, right? I didn't like it too much, but he did what he needed to do, and we have to be ready to defend him better. And then great interior play in Frank Mitchell. He's one of the better big men in this conference, and he attracts a lot of attention, but also at one point he was the best offensive rebounder in the nation. He still may hold that ranking. I got to go back and check, but we talked about winning the boards, right? Well, here's the challenge, right? You want to be a beast on the rebounds. Well, you're walking into one of the best rebounders in the country. So, it's gonna be a challenge, a big game for us on the road. That environment is crazy up there at Bonnie. So, but our guys, man, we found a way to really embody coming together, and we enjoy it too. So I tell them, man, you want to talk good basketball and memories, I said they don't get any better than your road game experiences. So we're looking forward to it.
No doubt. Well, Drew, man, I guess your office said it's over now. Take out the lights. Your office you're telling me to wrap it up. I see.
Hey, man, I got these center lights in here, man. Look, I'm 2 years in. I still can't control them.
It's a wrap. Hey, Drew, man, thank you for your time as always, brother. Keep doing your thing, man. I always got to have you on the show, man. And I'm wishing you all success in the world, my brother.
Boss, man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for staying in touch with me, having me on your show, and continuing to follow us and support us here at Duquesne, man. We appreciate it.
Anytime, my brother.
Yes, sir.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.